Sure. We're going to start with Megan, and we're going to start with you, and we'll come to you.
My question is, did any of you all experience culture shock as you come from an environment that was mostly white prior to going to an HBCU, and it was very difficult to adjust to being at a predominantly black school?
I'm from California, so like I did go to like an all-white school since I was in kindergarten. People couldn't say my name. And coming to Howard, it was not like, oh, finally around my people. It was like, dang, what's up with this Oreo girl that's white on the inside, black on the outside? That was the hugest, like, I didn't understand, because I'm like, yo, you're black, I'm black. And that's all that matters. Like, we have the same skin color. Yes, I come from a different place. Yes, I speak differently from you. So I had to just be comfortable with myself. And like Antonio said, everybody is different. People from New York talk different. My suite mates, my freshman year, one was from St. Louis, the other one was from Houston. And to me, they weren't speaking English ever. Because her is not hair. Hair is hair. It's not her. It's not her on your head. Like, I didn't understand, but I had to, like, be open to accepting other people as they were, and you cannot be so caught up in the social aspect of, dang, she don't think I talk black enough, so let me start talking like this, or nah. Like, you can't do that. You have to be comfortable and confident in who you are. That's going to reflect in your experience at your institution and also in your studies. Be comfortable with the way that you speak. Just like my friend from St. Louis, she said her. That's how she spoke. She can't just go around saying, hair. That's hard for her to do. Be natural and just be yourself.
Question.
When you guys think about your network that you built while you were in college and how it's going to follow you the rest of your life, do you feel like that you guys have a network that's going to help you guys further along your career with your peers? And secondly, to follow up on that, do you feel that corporate America views your education the same as it views a white person?
Can you repeat the question?
Okay.
So the question is, how is your network going to integrate into, real life?
Right, long term.
Long
The
term.
network you build
And
here is
then
gonna follow you.
how does corporations view
Like, how do you
HBCU?
feel corporations view your degree or qualify the quality of the degree versus some of the white institutions?
Okay.
Your perspective.
I think for the network question, I think it's very important at HBCUs. They stress, relationships, and that's relationships not even just with your, for networking purposes, but for your relationships with your professors. It's very important for you to create that relationship with your professor. With the family atmosphere that's created at an HBCU, it's very, very important for you to talk to people. And not just talking to people, and not just talking to your professor about, oh yeah, I have questions about class, but just having a conversation with your professor. They value that. They value the interactions that they have with their students, and I think that network, the network that's created especially at Howard, and I can only speak for Howard because that's the only HBCU I've been to, but being in DC and then being one of the top HBCUs in the country that. Corporations, like our School of Business, we have Fortune 500 companies coming in there almost on a weekly basis. And, the CEO of AARP, JP Morgan, was just speaking at our convocation yesterday. So there's definitely a wealth of opportunities, specifically at Howard University, and I'm sure that other HBCUs can attest to that too. They come to Howard University to find the top African Americans in this field. So you definitely have a wealth of opportunities and just opportunities to network and make those connections with corporate America. So I do think that they value the education that we get at an HBCU.
No, I understood. I got, hold on one second, sorry.
Okay.
We'll go to you next. After.
So prior to joining Howard, I was in a summer program, and it was for accounting. And I was accepted to Howard University to be in this program. There was this woman named Miss Nash, and she actually accepted me into that program. When I was in school, I had a really bad car accident, so I had to miss a semester. I broke a whole bunch of limbs, and a lot of stuff happened. She was the person who allowed me to come back to Howard. No time lost. I got credit for all of my classes, even though I had to miss a semester. Once I graduated, I started a mentorship program at Howard, and Miss Nash is that person who helped me start the program and helped me reach students. So I give you that story to give you an example of what your network can do. All the people that you meet, all the people that you speak to, make sure that you say something and you say your name so that they remember you. Because they will. They will remember you if you present yourself in that way. The last part was, so I am out of college. I graduated in 2011. I work for Fannie Mae. I'm in corporate America. Let's be real. Your education is valued at the same level as a white institution. However, coming from an HBCU, you do have to prove yourself. Yeah. So yes, we have all of these corporations that come to Howard, they recruit students, but that's not the hard part. The hard part is making it there and being successful while you're there and proving to everyone that even though you're African American and you graduated from an HBCU, you can do the job just as good as your counterpart. I just wanted to put that out there because, I mean, it's, you know, we're accepted, but we do have to prove ourselves because we went to an HBCU.
And you have to forgive me, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what role has time management, discipline, sacrifice played in helping you be successful? The adjustment that you had to make when you came to school, as far as managing your time and discipline and sacrifice.
Good question. And real quick, I just want to apologize for my tardiness, but my name is Devin Davidson. I'm a political science major here. Graduating senior, and I was the previous school year's Mr. Bowie State University. And to answer your question, it's a real good question because I've been talking to students about that throughout the Expo. When you come to college or when you come to an HBCU, you're going to have to learn how to prioritize and manage time because especially when you're free, you're no longer at home. You're out there on your own. So you're held accountable for your responsibility. You have to wake yourself up early in the morning and you have to learn how to manage and prioritize and make time for different assignments that you have. And it all goes into becoming an adult because as an adult, you have different priorities and different assignments that you have to do. You might be a parent. You might have a job, you might have to put food on the table, you might have to take care of your children. And when you come in here, it basically prepares you for that because you have to set time aside for your different obligations in college. So that's one of the things I learned.
We're going to have you add on to that, and then we're going to go to your question after your response.
In all honesty, if you don't have, good time management skills when you're coming into college, when you get to college, you're going to find them one way or another, good or bad. That's the reality of it. And it's going to come, and it's going to hit you. It's going to hit you when you decide what you want to do, dealing with your major. Then you add on time with friends. Then you add on, organizations that you want to be a part of. And people would tell me all the time, "Oh, you're always so busy. We barely see you anymore. You come up once in a blue moon, always busy." And the fact of the matter is that there's a lot more stuff that I need to do, and I could be a lot busier than I actually am. Because even when you do have free time, there's always something that you could do to make yourself, more marketable and give yourself, get something else done. Because time management is key, especially when you're doing things like, SGA, when you're being a part of rural court, when you're doing ROTC, when you're doing fraternities and social organizations. So time management, I thought it was good at time management coming into college. Then I was in ROTC. Boom. My time management skills just had to go up overnight because ROTC is, for all intents and purposes, a class that you take 24/7. There's always something you have to do. Then boom, I joined an organization, Lambda. This new organization on campus. That's something more that I have to do. Then boom, I had to learn even more time management skills with joining Black Male Agenda. That's also on campus. So the more that you do, the more time constraints and the more you have to schedule yourself into a set time of when you have to get things done. So time management is key. I understand that, grades are a good point, being active socially that's all good. But if you can't manage your time effectively, then you're not going to be successful in anything that you do.
Question right here in the orange, sir.
Our question is, What steps can you take to make sure that you're doing your best in the classroom, entering college?
What steps can we take? Well, I think that we've just spoke on it. Time management. What I really love, and they spoke on it as well, is that at our HBCUs we have so many resources that are willing to help you, because it's not always easy. Everyone doesn't come in with a 4.0 or with the ability to have perfect academics. But I know, I can only speak for Bowie State University. We have so many resources when it comes to tutoring, and that comes into play the relationships that you have with your professors. Professors are willing to check on you, are willing to say, hey, your midterm wasn't that good. Where do you need help? Where do you need assistance? So I think it comes with building your relationships on campus, building the relationship with your professors, your classmates, and just looking for those resources, because help is always available. And I know that sometimes coming in as a freshman or just as students, period, we don't always seek for the help that we actually need. So I think that it's important to know that there is help and that there is resources on HBCU campuses.
Okay, we have a question here. Was there? I'm sorry, her hand was up. I'm sorry. I'm going to come to you next. Yes, ma'am.
That's the thing about ROTC in college and ROTC in high school. It's totally different. The curriculum is different. I mean, you learn sometimes you learn some of the basic same stuff, such as drilling ceremony or, basic ranks and stuff. But when you come into ROTC in college, everything starts over for you. So your freshman year in college, you're gonna be like the same rank as you were your freshman year in high school. It's just that it's on a different level, it's on a higher plane, and you're put to a higher standard, and you're gonna learn more. They're gonna shove a lot of information down your throat that, even though you've been, I was in ROTC for 4 years in high school, and when I came here and did Army ROTC, I was just out there looking like, what is going on? And I thought I was the man in high school, especially dealing with the military. I came in here, I was like, I have no clue what is going on. Sticks? What is platoon sticks? And the terminology was different too. So you just gotta realize that, you gotta be ready. And when you come in, just be a sponge, soak up as much information as you can, because, it goes quick. It really goes faster than you think. And next thing you know, you're gonna be up there in front of people, leading them and telling them what to do. So the more information you take in now, and the better you are to, more steps you take to prepare yourself is going to make you better when you come in.
Your question right here.
This is for the gentleman from Morehouse. Upon deciding on HBCU, what additional steps did you make when deciding Morehouse, which is, again, unique all-male school? What steps did you take in doing that?
Well, for one, I attended an all-male high school. I went to DeMatha, so I was kind of used to that atmosphere. Right. Secondly, I'm thankful for my dad for this every day. He put me in a program at Morehouse when I was 16, where I was able to do a semester there between my junior and my senior year. So I got a taste of college before, like, anybody I knew ever got a taste of college. So when I got there and I experienced, hey, this is what college life is about, this is the hustle and bustle of it, I realized, like, hey, I've been around Howard most of my life, both of my parents being Howard graduates. I got family members that graduated from Tuskegee, FAMU. I've heard all their spiel about why I should go to their school. But actually experiencing Morehouse College, I realized that's where I wanted to be, because that's the mecca for an African-American male. And not only is that the mecca for an African-American male, but if you look at numbers, it's one of the top HBCUs there is, period. It's number 2. So when you put numbers into where they steer you as a man, there was no other comparison in my book.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
What's the average cost of tuition for a historical Black college or university?
I believe before I think it was like $35,000 to $40,000 for all 4 years, which is a lot of money. Pay attention to. There is help now. There's financial aid, there's grants that you itself also includes, your room and board, lab fees, activity fees. That's if the cost doesn't go up. And that's one of the things that a lot of our students with SGA or Michael to put a freeze on it. So that you're not planning for one semester and you think you have it, the next semester you don't. That's also part of retention as well. A lot of people have their mindset on what the price will be when they get to their freshman year, and they get a letter in the mail, and it changes their mind. Don't let the price tag scare you. That is what I think is the biggest thing with HBCUs. People are like, oh, I'm not paying all of that for, some schools up the street, all this other stuff. Or because the myth that it doesn't have the same weight as it would from a white institution. It's still an investment. You're investing in yourself, you're investing in your future. I would rather pay the $35,000-$40,000 now than wish I did later on. I mean, yes, that's like what, a Cadillac or something? But it's college. Like, I'd rather have a degree than be sitting here worried about, oh, did my high school education take me to where I need to be? Experience is part of it. So don't just think the $35,000, $40,000 is just for school. There's also experience. There's also that network. There's also the relationships. Because once you graduate, you're always going to be a product of that university. And you have the friends and nucleus that you have built here that go out everywhere. So you are also a spokesperson now. So think of it as investing in yourself to have a secondary job, because you're not just a one person. I will be Jasmine Stewart, a graduate of Bowie State University, no matter where I go. So understand that it's worth the investment. Don't worry about the money. Just do what you can to get it done.
Yes, ma'am.
How did HBCUs play a role in your development, leadership development, life skills development?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
How did your HBCUs play a role in your leadership development and just life skill development?
I know particularly at Morehouse, one of the first things they instill in you is to be a leader. New student orientation is a week long. I don't think that's the case for many other colleges. That they I hate to say it like this, but they pretty much brainwash you into being a leader. You look at a lot of the people who graduated from there, Richmond, Elijah Mays, Martin Luther King, just to name a few. You're not going to embarrass that university and not be a leader. You have to shine wherever you go. And to comment on the money or the average price for an HBCU, that varies whether or not it's a private HBCU or a public HBCU as well. Public HBCUs aren't generally going to be $40,000.
To answer your question about how leadership played a role in my personal experience, I have many friends who attend PWIs, and a lot of leadership opportunities on this campus they don't have on their campus. They don't have a campus queen of their university, or certain other leadership positions and roles on my campus. Some PWIs don't have on their campus. So I found that to be very unique. And I think, one of the main reasons why I am so drawn to HBCUs is because of the culture and because of the leadership opportunities. When you are a campus leader, which is why I always encourage students to get involved, whether it's in a fraternity, sorority, student government association, your campus queen, your campus king, you are privy to opportunities such as traveling to conferences, visiting other universities, networking. A few of the students here from Howard University I've known previous because of conferences and leadership opportunities that I've had. So I think that it's played a major role in how I developed personally. There was a time where I came in as a freshman and I wouldn't be able to speak in front of 2 people, let alone a seminar section. So I think that it plays a major role on an HBCU campus, getting involved in developing your leadership skills.
All right, this has been an awesome panel thus far. We have one last question, and we're going to have one person address it, and then we're going to leave with final thoughts. Yes, sir.
Okay. I have a 17-year-old male that's going to be going into his senior year in high school, and I wanted to ask the guys, as far as peer pressure, as a black man going to an HBCU, is there camaraderie? Is there competitiveness? Is there, is it like, and I hate to black men at HBCU, what is that like? You know, as far as like, you know, do you guys hang out? Do you guys, are you like buddies? Is it competitive? I mean, what is that like?
That was a great question. Very beautifully put. As a black man in college, I would say it's almost like a brotherhood, because y'all all are in this institution, no matter what it is, or no matter what institution you go to. Like my brother from Morehouse, you're all here and you're all trying to better yourself. You're all trying to get a better education, better yourself as a black man, so you can have an impact on society as a black man. Like my man said, leaders are made at this institution. Our leaders are made at every institution, and some of my close friends, they have been very successful. One of my friends, he started a clothing line with a couple of his close friends, and they launched that together. And some of my friends, they started other business ventures, because when you come to college, these are the people that you connect with. These are the people that you grow into an adult with. You come to college as a boy, and then y'all grow into men. And that's an experience. It's kind of hard to explain, but like I said, it's all like a brotherhood. We just look out for each other. It's a wonderful feeling to see black men succeed.
All right, so we're gonna we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna have everyone give their final thoughts. Just a quick plug: after this seminar is over, we're gonna go into our hot careers panel, which is right after this. So feel free to stay in your seats. Also, if you have any additional questions for our panelists that we weren't able to get to, feel free to ask them after the panel is over in the hallway. So just be prepared for that. So as we close, we're going to start on our left, and I just want you to give kind of your final thoughts again on this panel and some of the suggestions that you have for some of these students in choosing a school and being successful in college. And we're going to limit it to 15 to 20 seconds if you're able to do it, and we'll close out. Thank you all for coming out.
I want to start off by saying college is what you make it. Your HBCU is going to be what you make it as well. I love my HBCU because I make it to where I'm going to love it. And what you want to do while you're here is network, because you'll never know what opportunities are going to present themselves, and you never know who's going to remember you or who's going to remember your face, or they might not even remember your face. They might just remember that they have your phone number. So everything is a possibility when you make it what you want to make it.
I would say stay focused, keep your eyes on the prize. If it's something out there that you want, like just hustle and do it and get to your goal. Also, as far as the time management thing, you make time for what you want. So if you want to do it, you're going to make time for it. Like, don't make it an excuse, like excuses are for the weak. Like, we all make excuses because we're human, but if you want it to get it done, you'll get it done. You'll make time for it. So just stay focused and hustle and network, like he was saying, like, use your network while you're in school as a student, and just, make the best use of this 4 years or 5 years of your life. So, yeah.
I want you guys to know that college is so fun. It is so fun. I have so much fun every day, and I feel like I'm going to school and having fun, and it's all my new life. I'm away from home. I've lived on my own. It is fun. So find a place where you are going to grow as a person. It's not just about school. This is just like you saying, hey, Mom, I'm moving out. I got to figure out where I'm going to live. Go to a place where you are going to grow, where you're going to experience living in a new city, being around different people, and understand that these 4 years of your life are going to catapult you into the rest of everything. There are going to be lots of other milestones that you have, but make sure you are setting yourself up well. Are you going to be challenged? Are you going to, have to break yourself and build yourself back up? Are you going to be invested in? Are people going to support you and motivate you and mold you? Those are the questions you should be asking yourself. And am I going to have a good time? Because college is fun.
Well, I first just want to say that, as I look around, extremely proud, first of all, because you can be a lot of places right now. You got up early, you decided to come to this expo, and that's a blessing, and that's to the students. That's to the students as well as to the parents. I want to say, Mr. Johnson, he touched on it, but just a reminder that no matter what school that you are going to end up in, you make that institution. The institution does not make you. The leaders that you see on the panelists today, none of the institutions did not make us. We are what make our institution, our investments to the community, our investments in our education, what we contribute to the world is what's going to make our institution. So wherever you go, be proud of that, honor that, own that, and make sure that you give back, because society needs that. Our culture, we need that. We need to be in school. We need to invest in our generation and in our world. So just remember perseverance, and I pray that you all have a wonderful experience in college. So in addition to what the other panelists have said, I would say dream big. So the sky is the limit, and when they say that, it's really true. You know, you make your future what you want it to be. When you get out of your HBCU, dream big. My second point is that once you get into college, listen to your parents. And so I'll tell you all why I said that. So I mentioned that I had a really bad car accident. So this happened about 3 years ago. I was in a bad car accident. I broke my leg, I broke my arm, I had a brain injury, I shattered my kneecap. And all of this happened because I did not listen to my mother. So the people who are around you, who helped raise you, who helped to build you up, they know best. And sometimes you may disagree with them, but when it comes to major things, you know, not listening can really alter your life. And so just as high school students, keep that in mind. And, you know, your parents have your best interests at heart, so listen to them. You never know what it may cost you.
I'd like to say I want everyone to sort of ask themselves upon entering college, who am I? Make sure that you can answer that question for yourself. Are you doing college, you know, seeking out your education for yourself, or are you doing it because that's what you're supposed to do? You know, that's what mom said, that's what dad said, but make sure it's right with you. When you know your heart, when you know your mind, and you know your courage, you are always at home. No matter what you do and where you go, those are the things that will help you to sort of find your calling and to stay in it. Seek God. If you can't find the answers, I highly suggest prayer. I highly suggest that you make sure that you're deeply rooted in that faith foundation. If it's not even Christianity, it's something. You need to have yourself rooted and aligned with a higher power so that you know when things aren't right, especially when you're pursuing things that you're kind of scared to do. When you have your soul aligned with a higher power, you get that or the and you kind of really want that this is for me moment. So I do highly suggest that, and encourage yourself and encourage each other. You're not in this by yourself. They tell you in freshman orientation the person next to you might not graduate. Don't let that be that person. I've gotten to know my roommate from my old school. We're still friends. We call each other all the time, and it's always okay, when you graduate, when am I graduating? We're trying to figure out how to do both of our graduations in the same weekend. So it's more encouragement, know yourself, and ask yourself, is this really what I really want to do?
As a people, we lead in lack of home ownership, we lead in lack of businesses, lead in dropout rates in high school, college. Some might even say that we lead in arrest and going to jail. The fact that you're here is a step in the right direction. Not only should you try and steer away from those things, but also try and change them once you actually do get into the real world. I also want to say take advantage of the opportunity that you do have to go to college, because it's only so many times